We are back again on the hotspot. My name is Webb. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you are. Thank you for being a part of the hotspot. And like I promised, I will be back at exactly 10 p.m. as I be here daily to give you updates and conversations concerning Manchester United. Now, there is, of course, a lot of news going on around the club. The latest being the fact that Mason Mount's bid from Manchester United to Chelsea has been rejected at arrival, upon arrival, but United is not giving up. They are contemplating going back with an improved bid to Chelsea. But new developments are coming up. Subscribe. This is the hotspot because the latest coming through from Manchester United is that man, Victor Osimhen, according to Sky Sports, is still a target for Manchester United. Why? Because they are giving up on their chase and pursuit for Harry Kane, given the circumstances. Subscribe to the hotspot as we continue to dig into the top stories concerning Manchester United. My name is Webb. Now, the latest coming through, and this has been confirmed and reported by Sky Sports. They are saying that Manchester United is likely to give up on their pursuit or in their pursuit of Harry Kane, that is the Tottenham Hotspur's captain. Why? It is because they don't want to get into that ping pong chess of 2 months, because they clearly see the lack of communication from Daniel Levy has made it clear that Levy does not want to sell to Manchester United or to a Premier League rival. So as it is now, there are two teams that Harry Kane has been linked to out of England, that is Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain, according to reports that are coming through. So there is increasing frustration about the situation, the lack of communication, and United are saying that regardless what happens, whereas he was part of Erik ten Hag's plans, they are saying they are giving up on their pursuit of the Tottenham Hotspur striker and captain. That's what's happening now, as reports do coming from Manchester United. It's again now bringing back conversations concerning Victor Osimhen. Remember, he was one of the top two striker targets or options that United had from the start, and he was almost ruled out of that because of how pricey he would be. But it seems now United seem to know how much money they do have, and the striking position is one they want to sort as early as they can. And Harry Kane and Victor Osimhen being the two strikers that were looked at as first options, again re-emerging. But according to the reports coming through, according to Sky Sports, United are contemplating giving up on the chase in their pursuit of Harry Kane because Daniel Levy clearly does not want to sell to a Premier League rival. Now, of course, Victor Osimhen, the Napoli striker, is also there. He's re-emerging, coming back in the conversation. Certainly, that would be an interesting situation. I do think, I kept saying it, that I do think Victor Osimhen, if I were to choose between the two, for me it would be Victor Osimhen. He would cost probably around the same amount of money that Harry Kane would. So again, the conversations are now beginning to go on. But the latest is that United are planning to give up on their pursuit of Harry Kane and concentrate on other options. Remember, it was made clear that United wants to sign two strikers. They want to sign a world-class striker and a younger striker. Now, the younger striker that United is looking at, and that has been confirmed again by Sky Sports and other sources, that is Rasmus Højlund. That is the Danish striker. They do say they have made contact with him. They have spoken to the player, agreed personal terms. It's a matter of when, not if, they will go ahead and sign him. But that will also depend on whether they get their first priority. But the first priority that United had has always been Harry Kane and Victor Osimhen. But right now they are thinking of about giving up in their pursuit of Kane because Daniel Levy is clearly not interested in selling to a Premier League rival. So that would only push Harry Kane to either Madrid or PSG or any other suitor that would come in the Premier League, outside the Premier League, and there are not so many. But that is the latest that is coming through. So Victor Osimhen comes back to the picture. Remember, United earlier on, a few hours ago, it was broken. It was reported that United have tabled a bid to sign Mason Mount. It has been rejected by Chelsea. They do want more than the £40 million that United has tabled, and United are planning to go back with an improved offer for the English-born Chelsea academy graduate, that is Mason Mount. So that's the situation concerning Manchester United now. But the latest is Harry Kane might be dropped off the radar and focus put on players who seem to be possibly able to come and join the Red Devils. So that's the situation. As you read through the scrolls going on down there, other clubs are making business. United is moving now. They are making moves. Of course, nothing has been completed yet, but the latest is a positive development concerning how the club has already made a bid for a long-time target, that is Mason Mount, which bid has sadly been rejected, but the plan is for United to go back with an improved bid. The bid that was rejected was £40 million, but United might go for an extra improvement. I think United are thinking, and they do value the player at £50 million. That is what we get. Chelsea say they value Mason Mount at £70 million. I think that's ridiculous. I don't think Mount is worth £70 million, but that's what's happening now. Of course, more development. Of course, United has been linked to a lot of strikers because that's the key area they have got to spend on. I think the most money that United will spend in this window will obviously be on strikers. Now, Kylian Mbappe is in the picture now. Harry Kane is seeming to drop out, according to Sky Sports. They do say that United is not getting proper feedback and communication from Daniel Levy. So it's clear, without saying, but it's clear that Daniel Levy does not want to sell to a Premier League rival. So United, instead of wasting time on that same player, they do want to now shift their energies and focus on players they have a chance of signing. That's according to what's coming through. Now, of course, United as well, giving you an update on David De Gea. David De Gea is apparently in talks right now with Manchester United for an extension to his contract that ends at that comes to an end at the end of this month. He's going to be a free agent very soon because there is no extension that has been made. United have offered him to cut down his wages and his terms of not being an out-and-out first choice goalkeeper, as they do bring competition for him. He's yet to accept the terms, but it is said as well that right now Eric Ten Hag, who is on holiday in Ibiza, is not exactly patient. So David De Gea, we might be getting a final verdict on De Gea sooner rather than later, as United tries to make way for a new goalkeeper who most likely is going to be Diogo Costa. Opolot Sadiq, good evening, brother. How are you doing today? Indeed, I am well. I'm excited because of the news we got earlier on that Manchester United had tabled a bid for Mason Mount. That was rejected. No, I'm not excited because it was rejected, but just the fact that United has tabled a bid on the first day of the window, for me, is what has excited me. It shows you that we are prepared now to go out in the market and start getting players we've wanted to sign for a long time. Now, Ten Hag is on holiday, like most of the coaches are on holiday. He will be expected to return to duty, that is next week, but things are happening, meaning the plan in terms of transfers had been put in place already, and they are now just trying to execute that plan. This is Senoga Ramanzan saying, what happened to Sheikh Yassim? Well, as it is right now, of course, we do know that a newspaper from Qatar did leak a story congratulating Sheikh Jassim on the acquisition of Manchester United, and clearly said pending confirmation from the Glazers. Quickly they came out to deny this, but already some top officials in Qatar had already come out to congratulate them. So the official communication is not yet there, is not yet made, but it is believed it's going to be made before the end of this week. We'll be getting to hear it. But if you read between the lines, seeing what is happening surrounding Manchester United, you think the decision has already been reached at, and it's a question of announcing it. I do believe they do want to manage the expectations and, of course, manage people. Things are happening now because if Man United is already bidding for players, it means now that United has got the money to spend. Question would be is who confirmed that money, who signed on that money, who approved the bid to go on and bid for Mason Mount. So that shows you that maybe besides it being out there and announced already that there is a new owner for Manchester United, I think within the club they know what is going on. That's why already now Man United can start making bids for players and assuring players that they are going to come back for them. So for me, whereas it's not yet announced, I think Jassim is the new owner elect of Manchester United. It's a question of when, not if, they will announce him. I do think we've got to be a little patient, wait for the week, of course, to go on. I do believe before the end of this week it's going to happen, because now things are beginning to happen. So I don't want us to concentrate a lot now that we've been given signs. I think the signs are there. that a decision has been made. I don't want us to concentrate a lot on the ownership. I want us to concentrate more on the transfers because the window opened today, and the positive is United is among the first clubs to come out official and table a bid for a player. Who expected that, considering the circumstances we are in? To be honest, guys, go in the comment section and tell me, did you really expect United to make a bid today, considering the circumstances, before confirmation of who the owners are? I don't think so. The fact that it has been made, it shows me that those within the club know who the new owners of the club are, and we are only waiting as for us as the rest of the world to know. But also it shows you, as the old saying goes, there is no smoke without fire. That leak from Al Watan certainly was communicating something. They certainly came out and tried to rebuff it and deny it, but it was already done. Of course, that's what we expected. So for me, Senoga Ramazan, to answer you what happened to Sheikh Jassim, I think let's wait and see. But I think Sheikh Jassim is just waiting. It's a question of when, not if, they will announce him as the owner of Manchester United, and that should be before the end of this week. But for now, for me, the good news is that Manchester United has already started, bidding for players. Now, the next player in line, it has been reported today. Fabrizio Romano reported, Sky Sports did report that United are now looking at making it official with Kim Min-jae. I told you that Manchester United have already made contact with Kim Min-jae before the window even opened. They have agreed on personal terms. So United has been going on meeting most of the players they are interested in. I told you here before that they had already made contact with Mason Mount, and it was a question of get them confirming their money sources and how much they have for them to go back and table a bid officially, which they have done today and has been rejected. They will be taking back another improved bid. But they also went and spoke already to Rasmus Højlund, the 20-year-old man from Denmark, the striker for Atalanta. He's a player that they have been interested and linked with for a long time. So they have already agreed on personal terms with him. It's again a matter of the clubs now agreeing. So soon United will be tabling a bid for him. We do believe. Let's watch this space. United have also agreed on personal terms, again according to reports that came through from Italy. Earlier reports, they did suggest that United have made contact with Kim Min-jae, but they have not agreed on anything with with Napoli. So of course, technically that means that the player is still out there and open for any team to come out and bid. But the fact that, and you see in these transfers, the player's interest is so important. You don't just force a player on contract to go anywhere you want them to go. So if Kim Min-jae has agreed to go to Manchester United, certainly the negotiations have got to go on. Of course, the team Napoli has got to listen when United comes with an official bid. So we are waiting for that, but I do think it is soon going to be happening because, again, according to the plan left behind by Erik ten Hag before he went on for his holiday, the plan was for him to sign players in the key positions we know, including a goalkeeper, a central defender. He was thinking of another central defender who can also play as a right back, but most importantly, Mason Mount, to be precise. He was one of the earlier players United were linked with, but also a striker, a world-class striker, and a younger striker who can be one for the future, and that is Rasmus Højlund. That's the one who is being targeted. He's a good finisher who plays in Atalanta, and certainly you believe he would add a lot to Manchester United. United, though, have also been monitoring players, two young players, forwards, that is French forwards from the Bundesliga, that is Bayer Leverkusen's Moussa Diaby, but also, most critically, they have been monitoring the French youngster, that's the boy who almost won the World Cup for France against Argentina. That is Rando Colomwani. He's another player that I've been monitoring. Of course, right now, the whole twist in things, including Kylian Mbappe now coming out and calling for clubs to sign him, changes things around. But the price of Kylian Mbappe seems to be scary. Mbappe can only go for between 150 to 200 million euros. Question is United willing to spend that? If it were upon me, I believe they would. I think Mbappe would be worth that amount of money, regardless him having 1 year left on his contract. We've seen players worse than him signed for £100 million with a year left on their contract. Case in point, it Eden Hazard when he joined Real Madrid, where he flopped in every sense of the word. So it can happen. But these are the players Manchester United is monitoring. That young man, that is Rando Colomwani, that was him frustrated and furious after missing an opportunity against Emiliano Martinez to win it for France in the final of the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. That was last year. But that's what's going on with Manchester United, guys. It's an interesting situation the club is in right now. We are, I think, waiting to see now how many more players will be linked with. But the first bid has been made. It's official. United is interested in Mason Mount. Chelsea are holding out for the highest they can get. 70 million pounds is what they say. I'm looking at, and let me show you. I was thinking at how United will possibly look like when some of these signings are completed. And now that Mason Mount is again coming up in the picture, most likely going to be the first player United signs. I'm trying to look at how Manchester United will look with these players, and I'm thinking it actually could be a competitive team. Not probably one that will immediately compete with Manchester City, but I think Manchester United can be competitive with these young with these players when they do come in, and most importantly for Mason Mount coming in as a number 10. Of course, he's seen as an option because Christian Eriksen is certainly not ever going to be back to the Eriksen we saw playing at his best with Tottenham Hotspur. He was certainly never going to be that. So I think Mason Mount can come in there and try to change a few things around. Of course, releasing Bruno Fernandes to play a little deeper behind him. This is one of the possible teams that United could have. Of course, that young man, Rasmus Højlund, is most likely going to be joining. Mason Mount, I think, will join. I think Chelsea will accept something way less than 70 million pounds. Then, of course, Mbappe is still in the equation. But looking at circumstances, Real Madrid having signed Jude Bellingham for 100 million, I'm not sure. Of course, their president Florentino Perez said they have presented their plan, sustainability plan to La Liga, and they have approved it in terms of cutting down player wages so that they can afford to have a strong squad next season. Of course, that would mean bringing in players who are paid a lot of money. So perhaps that is to accommodate Mbappe. But I'm also thinking if they have signed Jude Bellingham for 100 million, will they be within the financial fair play limits if they signed Mbappe for close to 200 million euros? That would be interesting. In the same window, that would be interesting. I think that would be difficult. So that's what gives chance, I think, for Man United. But also given that United are almost expecting big money from the Sheikh Jassim, who most likely will be taking over the club. So you think that can be a realistic squad for Man United. So Mbappe is still a reality, a possibility rather for Man United, because PSG have made it clear that they are not willing to lose him for free next summer. So they should be cashing in on him in this summer transfer window. And he has said he's open to the idea of playing in the English Premier League. So who are the suitors? United should be one of those. So that's a bit of the situation as it is for now concerning Manchester United and well, what's going on with the transfers. But the biggest one, the move, for those of you who are just joining, Manchester United has made a bid that has been rejected for Mason Mount, and this bid is worth 40 million pounds. They are planning to go back with an improved bid, but also Sky Sports is reporting that Manchester United have given up in their pursuit for the Tottenham Hotspur's captain, that is Harry Kane. Why? Because they feel like Daniel Levy is clearly not interested in selling to a Premier League club. So meaning the door, if that is true, the door is only open for Real Madrid and probably PSG. I don't see so many other clubs that would afford to buy Harry Kane right now. So for me, it's again an interesting scenario. Then, of course, like I said, United have been monitoring a couple of other players, including Moussa Diaby. That's the boy who plays his trade with Bayer Leverkusen, but also Eintracht Frankfurt is Rando Colomwani, who is also a French forward. He was one of the best two footballers in the German Bundesliga in the last season. So that's the situation. Opolot Sadiq, I see you. Senoga Ramanzan, I see you. And of course, all our viewers coming through from all parts of the world, all corners of the world, thank you so much. It's every day that we are here at 10 p.m. to talk transfers. I do remind you guys to subscribe and turn your notifications on so that we keep getting all the transfers. In case you missed it, I was here just about an hour ago with breaking news concerning Mason Mount, and certainly it has been an interesting conversation. Just when the news broke, we're here to just give it to you as we do continue to monitor the situation surrounding Manchester United, who have made an early move, an early step in the transfer window. On the opening day, United has already made a bid for a top player who they have been monitoring for quite some time. So it's an interesting situation Manchester United is in right now. So that's a bit of what's happening. But I do believe United as well has got to think about signing a holding midfielder now that the money seems to be there. We don't know how much it is yet, but there are reports that the transfer plan for Sheikh Jassim has leaked, and his budget, and it's a huge budget like we expect. But it's interesting. Let's wait and see what exactly goes on. Of course, Arsenal, just to give you some news concerning other teams that are not Manchester United, Arsenal are in advanced stages, almost done signing Declan Rice, the West Ham United captain. It's a question of confirmation from the club. They are certainly going to sign him for just under £100 million. But Arsenal are also interested in Kai Havertz. Of course, certainly Arsenal, I felt, needed a striker. So they are looking at Kai Havertz from Chelsea, and they are making a bid for him, and they will sign both Havertz and Declan Rice for close to £150 million. Now, that's a lot of money for a team like Arsenal. So they are looking at signing a double swoop for those two players. So Arsenal is making moves. Our competitors are trying to be stronger. To be honest, I think if Arsenal boost certain areas in their team, they could be competitive again next season. They are trying to also do their work early so that they also don't have a lot to stress about when they during the preseason. So it's again, interesting. This should put Manchester United under a lot of pressure. Kai Havertz has been linked to Real Madrid as well. Madrid is also interested. I think he's highly rated. Never mind him struggling a bit for form at Chelsea, but he's highly rated. Arsenal and Real Madrid have shown interest in him. So Arsenal seem to be leading the rest to sign him now. So that is, I think, an interesting situation. That should be a wake-up call to Manchester United. But good enough, United is also not in bed. They are not down to sleep. They are also trying to make moves. So United now, like I said, I think they have been pointed to one man. That is Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen is a possible signing for Manchester United. That, for me, would be the best striking option for United of all available strikers in the world right now. I think him and of course Kylian Mbappe would be Mbappe first and Osimhen next. But if you can't get Mbappe, Victor Osimhen, I think, for me, would be a perfect suit for Manchester United. But it seems now, with the interest in Harry Kane almost dropped, with the ping pong that Daniel Levy is playing, Manchester United almost assured of funds, they seem to be interested in going for Victor Osimhen and Rasmus Højlund. And let's monitor this situation and see what exactly happened. But that is what is going on for now with Manchester United. Of course, we are here to get all the updates as they do come, and of course I'll continue to give them to you, but also picking your opinions about certain areas concerning Manchester United, the possible clean out, because Ten Hag is returning from a vacation next week. He will be cleaning his house. Who will be leaving first? Which players should he let go first? You can give me your opinion on that. I think it's a very interesting scenario. There are lots of players who you feel are surplus to requirements at Manchester United. If you talk of players like, of course, De Gea is one of those, but there is more. Talk of players like Brandon Williams. Talk of players like Scott McTominay, of course, Harry Maguire, who doesn't want to leave the club. Talk of players like, of course, Fred is doubted. It is now confirmed and said that Man United have put Jadon Sancho up for sale. They price him at about £60 million. He has had a bad 2 seasons, not getting off to a start. So they feel they want to cash him out, which would be okay. I wouldn't mind it, but yeah, United is trying to clean the house, of course, to try and also make some money to fit into the financial fair play, because the rules say you cannot spend a lot more than than you have. So again, it's an interesting situation the club is in right now, but there is progress. I feel, for me, there is progress in every way, but the latest now is that that young man, Harry Kane, is seemingly no longer an interest for Manchester United because of the frustration coming through from the chairman of Tottenham Hotspur, that is Daniel Levy. Give me your opinion about that, and I will be getting it, of course, in the comment section. Thank you so much, of course, guys, for being on as we do keep growing, of course, continuously growing and talking about Manchester United every day. I do remind you at 10 p.m. we will be here with the news, but before that we will keep, of course, posting videos for you to enjoy, but also giving you breaking news as it comes concerning Manchester United and everything, of course, in this transfer window, the ownership scenario and dilemma, but also a lot when the season starts in August. We'll be here to talk about our performances, but also these watch-alongs, live watch-alongs of games. Watch-alongs are us, you sit in your home, I am here, and we watch a Man United game together as we do banter about it and talk about it, analyze it together, because football games are more interesting if you watch them together. But that's the beauty of the internet. It does bring the world together. So we join together as we watch along here on the hotspot. That's why there's a lot for you. We've got a lot of packages planned for you. So better subscribe and, of course, call and invite on everyone you know who loves Manchester United. This is a Manchester United mostly conversation, but of course we also get into other updates and speculations as we do continue to talk sport. Well, thank you, guys. I think I've got to leave it at this. I think it's been a long day. Of course, that breaking news concerning Mason Mount, I think for me has been the highlight of the day for me on the opening day of the transfer window. But it's young and there's a long way to go. Let's wait for what stories will come back later. Who knows? There could be some breaking news by the time we wake up early morning tomorrow. I will be here to give it to you. It's good enough. I know and trust that most of you have subscribed. In case you miss it, I will be here, of course, to drop you the videos. And of course, let's keep enjoying the Red Devils, who are soon to be the Althani Devils. Thank you. My name is Webb, Senoga, Opolot, and everyone who has been on. I'll leave it at this. Have a good night. Have a good morning. Let's keep talking Manchester United. Keep talking the transfers, and let's keep monitoring the situation concerning the takeover and what the Glazers will say before the end of this week, because the news as it comes, it suggests that United will have a new owner before the end of this week, and we've got every reason to believe it. Thank you. That's it for now. I will be catching you again next time. See you when you see me. It's peace, love, and harmony.